Yo, what is up, everybody? Welcome back. Chalkcast 115. This is the full RLCS Raleigh Major preview show. We've got a massive ep in store, but before we get to that, we've got a couple of things to quickly chat about. Firstly, if you saw last step, we are running a LAN with Jamesbot. We've partnered up with the best TO production man in the business to run a LAN at Shopify HQ. That's right, we're in Toronto. And we need your support to help this thing get cooking. But we've already had some support as well since that app's gone live. We've sold both of our VIP ticket experiences. So that's sold out, which has been absolutely insane. But we have plenty of community sponsorships as well still to sell. Thank you to everybody who has bought one of those. You can be in the credits for the tournament and just basically help cover our costs, because we joked about being in the red. We're getting closer to the green now, which is awesome.
Almost.
Jamesbot.net/shop. Link will be in the description for the YouTube watchers. If you guys would like to see us do more events. And unlike another podcast that we're going to talk about, we're actually running events. Yeah. We're actually doing something. We're not just paying graphic designers.
Whoa.
We're not just paying graphic designers to send all their friends to try and win a competition. And Captain, what competition am I talking about here?
You're talking about the title. We're getting destroyed. The Rocket Rivalry. We need you guys to get on. I mean, me and Johnny were talking about it. I played 50 games yesterday. I feel like I didn't even put a drop in the bucket. I don't know what the strategy is. We missed out on the graphic, making a graphic and DMing everyone.
No, we didn't miss out on that. We didn't do that because it's cringe.
Yeah, that's
cringe
true.
behavior.
Yeah,
We're not going to do that in retrospect.
And he said if you want a graphic, then you're going to be looking for one for a while because we're not making one. But
no, we're not making graphics, bro. We're not setting graphics out.
Yeah, we got
we're
cooked a
here
bit.
for the show, man. We're here for the win on the pitch. I mean, that's what I'm here for. I don't know about you, CJ.
I mean,
Johnny's not going to be there.
I'm not there for that, actually.
Yeah, well, actually, we're not all there for the win on the pitch.
Yeah.
2/3 was 66% there for the win on the pitch. But I didn't realize how big it was gonna get this little goal scoring tracker race that we've got going on with First Touch. I mean, we're talking over 2 mil already, Johnny.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. I mean, the numbers being this big kind of reminds us how big Rocket League is with the casual audience, because you see like the takes on Twitter. I mean, just general takes about Rocket League on Twitter. People saying, "Oh, the game's dead." They need to fix this, fix that, bring this back, or whatever. The game's dying. And then you see like how many goals have been scored with these titles, which surely 99% of the people using them don't even know what they are. They're just like, "Yeah, cool. We're chalked. Yeah, nice. First Touch crew, whatever. Don't know what that is. Cool. Let's go score goals." There are millions of goals. What are we a day in? And it's already at like a combined. What is the combination now?
Isn't it?
It's way over. It's like 6 million. It's past
crazy.
6 million goals. Are we serious? But the obviously there's like two sides to this. So first, the fact that it reminds us how big Rocket League is, especially with casual gamers. And then secondly, I'm thinking like, man, even if I went live, like just did a 24-hour stream of only farming goals. Shogun and I tested this. I tweeted out. We tested it. We managed to get in a casual game together because you can cheese it. I mean, it's not hard. Everybody knows this. You get in a casual game. You wait for the other guy to leave by either winning by a lot or them getting bored. And then one of your friends from Steam just joins your game through the friends list, and now you're against a friend in a casual game. The fastest that you can score is like 15 real-time seconds. That's 4 goals per minute, which is 240 goals per hour. So what would that be in a day? If you farmed like a whole 24-hour stream, you could, with your friend, it would take 2 of you, 5,760 goals, which would do absolutely nothing. There's so many. So even if you did want to do... Yeah, I don't know. I like when you can kind of cheese something and make a little like dent in it, but here it's just so many people. There's literally millions of goals. So I'm like, oh, like we can't even like try to rig this with silly, experiments and silly degenerate behavior, which I do like to do in video games every now and then. But yeah, the massive silver lining is that Rocket League's pretty popular, not dead. Actually, quite a lot of players, so that's cool.
Cut off, but you can see here once I scooch this across the percentages. We're getting cooked. We're getting cooked a touch here, boys. That's rough.
Well, the percentage doesn't look that bad. 45-55 doesn't seem that far behind. until you see the actual numbers, it's like 2.8 million to 3.4 million. So just need to see 600,000 goals from you guys. If you could, start that sooner rather than later, that would be nice. Just 600K. That would take you like pretty much 100 days of constantly scoring goals using the method I previously talked about. So it's a lot. But together we can maybe make a dent in that and see. At this point, let's just see how high we can get the numbers, because this is kind of crazy.
I think though, when you think about it, this makes sense, right? First touch, it's in the name. They're getting on early. As soon on release, they were all over it with the graphics. They were prepared. Chalked cast, we're chalked. We're sort of just we're waking up. We're sleeping in a little bit. We're waking up, going, oh, what's this in game? We're probably half of the people are probably just discovering it right now. A day or so in. So we'll take our time and we'll set up the reverse sweep, which is what's happening right now. But the percentages are, I feel like we got to like maybe 47%. We're back out to 45. It gets 47.
I managed to get K-Dop using the title last night. Raleigh, the Falcons boys. I was streaming with it. Garrett was streaming with it. We managed to get it from 43 to 47. Then I went to bed, woke up, and it was back to 45 again. I'm like, man, they're just getting goals in their sleep, and we know they're not scoring goals. Just all these random people. I will say though, and I'm not trying to make any kind of
it seems like you're setting it up.
Allegations here. No, not at all. But I will say, I played for 4.5 hours, maybe 5 hours. I played for a long time. I was just playing 1v1 on my stream. I saw one first touch title in that entire 5-hour window.
That's what I'm
Absolutely destroyed them. 7-1. Wasn't even close. It was like one of the easiest games of the night. Not even joking. And then, I saw dozens of We Are Chalk titles. So I think they might be rigging the numbers a little bit. We might have to look into the small print here and see what's going on.
Yeah.
I didn't see anybody using those titles.
Bring up the real poll.
Yeah, let's
bring up the real poll. The real vote that's ending in 51.
Right here for the people, because I think this one tells a little bit more of a story. RL Esports Sweating, which player title are you rocking with nearly 3.4K votes? And we've nearly got 70% on that bad boy. So I think that in every conceivable, every metric that we can actually view in terms of in-game, I'm seeing chalk titles everywhere. In terms of actual people clicking on a poll, I'm seeing 70%. The only thing we're losing at is somehow 4 million goals to first touch that no one has seen in game. Has anyone seen an FT title score in game yet?
They all are the silvers all picking first touch title? Is that what's going on here? Do we need to market ourselves more towards? Is it the Nintendo players?
I don't know.
We need to market ourselves towards, because we're clearly missing something in the market here. We've not had enough market exposure to silvers, Nintendo Switch players, something. Because like CJ said, everything else would all the people, the real title users you see.
Do we not know how to score as a Chalkcast community?
Yeah. Are we just hitting the bar?
It's on brand.
I'm calling conspiracy.
At least
I'm calling conspiracy. We're gonna cope so hard. I'm gonna start believing that. I mean, they can't. I mean, the Rocket League main channel podcast can't lose to us. Let's just cope really hard here.
Is that what it is? Are they rigging it because they don't want?
It's rigged.
Did they get the esports button in game as well? Is that what it is?
It's rigged. Yep, that's what it is.
It's
just
too much for the people. Exactly. Yeah, Black Rocket in chat. FT's corporate. Well, we're for the people, and the corporates are winning right now.
Can we sponsor the ball? Is the ball sponsored for the major? I know that's expensive, but maybe we should just go for that.
We're sponsoring the ball?
Yeah, no, I'm just saying, can we? Is that on the table? What would that even cost?
I don't think our Patreon is.
We're competing with Progressive to steal that sponsorship.
If they sponsored the ball for the major as well, we've had enough of their, listen, Progressive, I'm glad they're sponsoring RLCS, but, leave some of the ball sponsorship windows open, please.
Leave a spot for us on there.
Something on there. Yeah, I mean, why? They can't just hog the ball all the time. They got to share the ball. You got to, pass the ball sometimes.
Yeah, I think there's a couple of angles to mount this comeback. But please, if you're tuning in, jump in game on the item shop, and it's for free to pick up both titles. But make sure you're rocking the We Are Chalked. Everyone we see right now is rocking it. Even though the goals we're losing at the moment, maybe we can make the comeback, or maybe we're a little bit behind, but I guess it's doable.
Maybe they have the numbers. Maybe they have the numbers backwards.
650,000 goals behind. So if you're one of the 100 people tuning in, keep plugging away, guys. Just keep plugging away. We'll get there. We'll make the comeback.
Who do we need? Who do we need to recruit? Would Carmine Corp be enough? like Carmen Corp, if
Oh,
you're
we
listening,
need.
like listen, we're not even gonna rig our predictions. So I think we collectively probably will predict Carmen Corp to win the major. So hey, KC, Blue Wall,
Mr.
we need some
Gataga,
goals in
Meadow.
game with the title. Yeah, Kameto, please. We are
We might need
chalk
the
title.
goats.
We need someone here. We're not gonna send you a graphic though. So if you want a graphic, you're gonna need to make it yourself. We're
Yeah,
not
we'll
making a
run a
graphic.
LAN
It doesn't.
instead
We're
of.
not even making a graphic for Kameto, bro. Come on.
Yeah,
Like,
but
the title's free, bro.
it is very cool, obviously, to be in the game for one as well, to have a permanent feature in the game with the title, and then just to hop in and see this graphic, which is and see when you hop into the, I think, hit triangle, hit news, or Y if you're on Xbox, and you'll be able to see the boys just hanging out there. After this event as well, we'll be able to see the captain in a scuffed Chalkcast tee that we will talk. Actually, and that's something as well. We need to bring that up. I have made. I was going to keep this a secret, but I felt pressured by the FT graphics to perhaps give away one of these for you guys, and that is the tees that we will be rocking, myself and the captain, in our 2v3 show match. The Chalkcast tees. I hit the lab, I hit the packs to make this absolute beauty right here. And if you guys want to go in the draw to win one of these tees, all you need to do is hop over on Twitter. Well, firstly, put the title on in-game, score a goal with the title, take a screenshot of it, and tag #WeAreChalked, and you will go in the running. I mean, have a look at that. We got the captain showing off the 51 states.
It's nice.
We got the Riz with the signed Daniel pick over his head in the frame. Johnny just asking if he can hear T-Bates on the other side of things, and me telling, I think, T-Bates as well, that we're scoring on his head. So, I mean, it's an iconic one. I think I've cooked here. One in chat if you think I've cooked with this, because this took me about 3.5 minutes, and I think it looks fantastic.
Even the first touch employee in the chat will be wearing the Chalkcast shirt. So I mean,
of course,
that speaks a lot.
That speaks volumes, yeah.
Trouble within the inside.
I mean, maybe we need to release. I need to actually make these, and I am making them, but I have only ordered enough for us and maybe a couple of giveaways. So, if you guys, can I get a 3 in chat if you would unironically buy one of these bad boys? Maybe we need to really cook some Chalkcast merch, because this was actually easier than I thought.
It might be tight. We talk about it a lot, but then again, we usually set it as
though.
Yeah, it's just pretty nice. We usually set it as like an almost unachievable goal. We're just like, okay, yeah, the goal wasn't reached. We're not going to drop the merch then. So again, this would be a perfect time for us to say we'll drop a merch, actual drop real merch if we win the contest, which we're losing, and then we lose. We're like, oh well, no merch then. Once again, no merch for you guys. But yeah, before we move on to the major, do you guys want to hear the best super copium that I've got for all of the fellow We Are Chalk title users who are currently losing massively in the contest? So, simple UI development. All of the drop rats who go to claim everything, because everybody's always telling me when I stream, claim your rewards, claim everything. I'm like, I don't know. I never see any of this. It does I don't know. My eyes don't see it. I might be going blind. But when you go to the community shop, our title's on the left, so people will just go click on it, claim, and then I think you've got the equip now option, or not now. And then you go back, you go to their one, equip, or click on it, claim, and then equip now. Equip now is just hovering there. Now, if you've equipped the Chalkcast one already, and now you get offered to click this one, dopamine scroll. It's like the modern day game design. Would you like more dopamine? Would you like to claim this? Would you like this as well? Excellent. Would you like to wear it? Great. Now, what's next? On to the next thing. So I think we've just been scammed here simply by the order of the shop. That's the best super copium I can come up with for the fact that we're losing. And actually, if they just swapped them the other way around, we'd be dominating. So yeah, I'll leave you guys with that one. I'm going to be cooking up more super copium while I'm not at the major. I'm going to have lots of time to do this. So
yeah, we need more of that.
Expect more where that came from.
I would like some more of that. I'm pulling it up actually for you guys to see. I'm on my incognito CJCJ player 2. We are chalked, rocking that bad boy, of course. That was for if you guys are watching on the Patreon, we were rocking player 1, player 2, player 3 in our upcoming Patreon video where we play some 3s with the boys. But here you go. You tap news. We're on the community spotlight over here, which is really cool to see. We've got the QR code, which pulls up that site to show the tracker. Hit learn more, and then you can pick up both of these. I have picked up the first touch one. Yes, you might call me a trader, but I I saw some power moves from people that have sent a screenshot to the Chalked account of only acquiring the Chalked one and refusing to pick up the
Leaving the
FT
other one.
crew. That was I like that. I like to see that. But yeah, pick it up. Make sure you guys are rocking it in game. And apparently there's glows a bit. Is that true? Yeah, there's actually has a little bit more of a glow to it as well. I will
Is it a
say.
different color?
Wait, theirs is pink in the shop, and
Yeah,
ours is purple
ours
as
is
well.
purple.
Wait, why does it do that?
Oh, did they mute ours to try it? No. Did they do this on purpose? This is
No,
some like serious rigging going on
ours-
here.
Ours glows more than theirs in the shop, though. Ours is, but
glows-
it's a different color for some reason.
Yeah, they are
okay,
different
that's weird.
colors. I wonder why they're different
I
colors.
never even
That's
noticed that.
interesting. I didn't notice that they were different colors. I didn't look close enough until now.
Yep.
That's
So make
interesting.
sure you pick that up, and then I think you go into is it Garrett? Where's the tags profile? Profile tags. Boom. Oh, I do have a glowy version.
Yeah, I
Hey.
just got mine too.
Ah,
Yeah,
I just
that's
put it
for
on.
us. That's for us. We get the glowy
That's
version.
for us.
Hey, maybe if we win this, we can get a glowy version. That's what T-Bates was trying to suggest. And to the poll, of course, he's going to say that because they're 600,000 in front. And Johnny's rebuttal to that was linking the actual poll that we can see on RLE Sports, where we have absolutely cooked them in the 70 percentile. If you don't mind. Over here.
Yeah, we got a lot of copium, as you guys can see.
We got
But
the copium.
we've only been working on this copium for a day, and we've already amassed a very impressive stack of copium. So you're not going
That's
to
the way to do it.
believe how much copium we're going to have ready to go. Like, we could do a full episode of copium in a week once this is all over, because it is until the 26th, which is a week from now. The first day of the major, I think, concludes the contest. Which about I was kind of hoping it would run through the major. I don't know why it ends right at the start of the major, but hey, maybe they
Maybe
want people watching the major, not playing the game. I was hoping it would run through the major. That would be cool.
But yeah, that's our little comp we got going on. So shout out to everyone that has been rocking the hashtag or the We Are Chalked tag in game, and shout out to those who have also been supporting our LAN that we've got coming up. And we're going to be really honing in on that post major. But this is the major preview show, boys. So I think without further ado, let's
get into it.
stuck in. I know that we've got a ranking stream as well. There are a few people asking for those watching live. The top 25 JohnnyBoi ranking stream will be live straight after this. So stay tuned for that. And I know the captain wants in perhaps on the next one because he's very curious about our rankings. I think he might want to make his own list at some point. So let us know if you want the captain in the top 25 as well. That could be good. But boys,
You think you think it's gonna be easy, Garrett, just for to make a list?
No, not at all. I think it's impossible to make a perfect list as well. Everyone's too good. Like it's
There's a lot of good players.
You could make a list and then you could look completely off next week. You know what I mean? So it's hard, but it is fun to think about for sure.
yeah, it's a lot easier to say, I can't believe you've left out this person in the top 25, and make a list yourself. That's all I'll say. But we'll get into that in the actual stream. For the major, though, we are going to do our predictions over on the Patreon for a full predictions, I guess, edition. But this app is going to be more about previewing each team, each region, and our thoughts. Where do we want to start?
Oh, well, actually, let's start with OCE, CJ, because OCE's got a lot to answer for. Going 1-3, 2-3 last time. No, was it 0-3, 1-3, losing to APAC twice. Are OCE going to regain? Is this going to be an improvement? It surely can't get worse, but can it get better, CJ?
We can definitely regain. I think the Birmingham Major, which I'm sure you guys watched, where OCE lost to Luminosity, lost to APAC, both teams actually, in the 0-2-0 and the 1-2 stage, is probably a wake-up call, I'd say, for OCE. I'd say there was perhaps a bit of copium coming into it, you know, or perhaps a wild card. We always make round 5, the safety net of just being okay with round 5 of Swiss, you know, finishing 9-12, 9-11 every event. Was broken, and perhaps it could be a good thing for the region, because I know both teams have probably had the longest boot camp of any other teams going. They were there, I guess, over a week ago, so they're going to be there for over 2.5 weeks, I think, total, before the event for the boot camp. So feeling confident, and I like hearing from the captain that Banana Head's dominating the NA rank scene as well. right at the tippity top. He's been impressed, so I like the sound of that. But I don't know. I feel like every event, boys, the competition just gets harder and harder. So it's going to be tough. I think a round 5 again would be a success. A 9 to 11 would be a win for OCE. I don't know if you agree with that.
Yeah, I think it would be a win. I mean, just getting back to normal would be good.
back to
good start.
Back
to the round 5.
Back to
for
comfort.
both teams.
Wildcard are they're obviously the team that deserve a number 1 seed and the best team in the region. Perhaps the most dominant, probably just the most dominant team we've ever seen out of OCE. But we need to see it against international competition. I think there's a slim chance of them getting top 8. T-Bates thinks there's a 52% chance of them getting top 8, Johnny, by the way. I'm not sure if you saw First Touch.
Wait, 52% chance that one of the teams gets top 8?
He's got a 52% chance. And then I said, what are you... And I said, what did I say to him? What are your chances of K-Corp winning the event? He said 17%. So I said, so you're telling me that OCE getting top 8 in your mind is 3 times more likely than Carmen Corp winning the event? And he's like, I guess 52.
What? 52%. So I mean that's just likely then. I mean it's pretty good. Oh no, that's insane. You can't. I mean, is he just trying to double down on his prediction at the start of the year that OCE will get 2 top 8s? Is he just saying that it has to happen this time and also at Worlds or something? I don't know.
I just think because he made a wild statement at the start of the season that OCE was going to make a top 8, he's just stuck in that mode. But the funny thing was when we pulled up on First Touch as well, Daz's predictions that he did, we pulled up the graphic, and then when he saw the matchups and saw the teams that were missing out and getting through, he was like, oh, yeah, this is going to be tough for OCE. They're going to... If you're going to make top 8, you're beating, a really strong team probably in round 5. You're having to take down a Ultimates, maybe a Space Station, Furia could be there, Twisted Minds could be there, Gen G as well, or anyone really. Gentlemates could be there, even Vitality, who are sometimes slow starters in these events. It's going to be tough, but I think OCE for this event, they've got both teams are locked in for EWC for Worlds. So I think the pressure's off them in that sense, and I just want to see them really lock in and use it as a bit of experience for Worlds next couple of events. Yeah, that's my OCE.
Okay. OCE summarized, and then the other regions, SSA, nobody cares again. It's just foot again, so not really anything going on there. APAC is the same team as last time. They beat a full EU import team to qualify, so that's pretty cool. Because wasn't it split 1? Tho and Ossolon were playing with Max U in APAC, and then they lost out to LG, who are the same Sosa Catalysm Sphinx team that made the major. So they brought in, it was the Spanish player they brought in, Tecos, right? They brought him in for Max U, so they just went full EU and then they lost again. So yeah, good job to Sphinx defending the region. And if they're now playing better than they were already, they're a good shot to make the 2-3 round again. Making top 8 is so difficult though. I just don't see how that's such a big jump to go to top 8. You need to beat a genuine top 6 contender just to make top 8, just because there's so many teams in that kind of 5th to 10th range now. They're all very close together. So yeah, good luck to them. Excited to see them play, but they're probably going to be looking to just replicate what they did in Birmingham,
which would be massive. I don't know about you, Cap, but I don't think they're making round 5 again. I can't say.
I mean, it just depends. It depends on the draws. I could see them beating OCE twice again, though. If they got that run, honestly, I don't know. OCE is just hard. It's hard for me to be OCE is going to do great, because I just feel like they're the most disadvantaged outside of SSA, of course. They show up 3 times a year and get good practice. I don't know. It's just hard. I think even that, Tecos going to APAC might have made Verse Pro better now too, because you would think that's a step up. I would think. I didn't really watch any of the APAC matches, but it's hard. I don't know. It's hard. But I do like when OCE makes a run. And it feels like every now and then they're just chaotic enough to take an upset. But the problem now, to me is that there's no like NA weakling. All 4 of EU always look good, but even all 4 of NA, we're talking
They do all
about
look
some
good,
people
yeah.
are saying that they could all be top 8, which I think would be hard, but still, there's less and less freebies. MENA 2 is Twisted Minds, and I know that was the same in Birmingham, but when I think there was a lot more avenues for them to sneak into a top 8, now it's just like they're just gonna have to step up. It's not gonna be, any luck for them. So it's gonna be, I don't know, it's gonna be hard.
Yeah, you're pretty much looking to snipe, flat Team Secret again, because Team Secret looked pretty good online, but on LAN they didn't look very good. So you've got a group of teams there, APAC, 2 OCE teams, and Team Secret. That's the teams that are just all trying to run into each other in the 1-3 round and avoid NAEU, Furia, and MENA.
Yeah,
It's possible, but in order to do that, you need to get games, because it does. Oh no, do the games matter actually? Is that like the second tiebreaker after
No,
the
games
corpse is
don't
tied?
matter. It's just if
The
you
games
win or
don't
if you
matter.
lose.
It's not even a second tiebreaker. I forgot if it's like the second thing after book. But yeah, book also. You're not having a good time then if you're like these lower seeded teams. You just have to hope that you run into a team that continues winning after they're done beating you. So
yeah. Team Secret, I guess, is a team so far. It looks like I think OC could take down for sure. Just going off last land.
Yeah,
But I mean, they could step it up this land, but
Yeah.
based off last one, I think they could take them down.
I think the good point, or I guess for these lower ranked teams and regions, what they should be aiming for, as I think John said in chat, is trying to avoid the play-in, because obviously Worlds is a bit different now with LCQ. We're going to have 4 more teams at Worlds, which means bottom 4 are in the play-in, the bottom 4 performing region slots. So currently that'd be SSA, just based off Birmingham, I think it's SSA, both OCEs, and SAM 2. I think
I believe so, yeah.
are all in that spot. Maybe NA4 is creeping around there as well. Because I think Complexity...
They did get eliminated same round, yeah.
Yeah, they're around there. So if you, basically APAC with a 2-3, if they can maybe get a 1-3, that could keep them out of that play-in, and that means they're straight through to the main event, the top. I don't even know actually how it works. Is it top? I don't know. It's something. But basically, you're avoiding that early pre-tournament play-in stage of Worlds. So that's something to look forward to. I guess we were touching on MENA as well, Twisted Minds. Let's hop over there, because I think MENA's a bit of an interesting one, Johnny, in that Falcons kind of, probably not as confident in Falcons as we've seen previously. Twisted Minds have been a bit okay as well.
It's hard to say. I don't know what's going on with the MENA teams, because Falcons looked a bit shaky in some matchups, but they're winning them. And then they dropped a random Swiss series, I think, here and there, and then they win the tournament without dropping a series in groups or playoffs. So yeah, it's a weird split for Falcons, because they're getting challenged more by teams that usually you'd expect them to be sweeping, but they are winning. So these guys, they're obviously very good. They won FIFA E last year. They've had so many grand finals. They know how to make deep runs in tournaments, and yeah, they looked a bit flat in Birmingham. So did a lot of teams. So being already over there, because they are already over in America. They've been there for a while. I don't know when they got over there, but they're already over there scrimming and just playing ranked all the time, which is cool. Yeah, no, Falcons are still. I think they're one of the few contenders, because with KC being so dominant, it's hard to really see anybody else contending with them truly as a potential winner. I think Falcons are one of them, though. I still think they can win. If you have a Falcons versus KC match on this Sunday, KC are favorites against anyone, but it's it's not like you're absolutely 100% confident KC are just going to roll that like they did last time with Ultimates and Furia. Yeah, I think they're contender. My contenders are like Falcons, outside of KC, obviously. Falcons, NRG, Dignitas. And I think that's honestly it. I can't really see any other team winning. I wouldn't give much. I wouldn't give more than 1% to anyone else. I know Ultimates made finals in Birmingham, but I just don't see it. They've been so bad online. It's hard to see them doing that again. But yeah, that's like the other the 3 teams I could give some decent percentages.
Did you
to
say
winning.
Furia or no?
No Furia, nah. I
don't
just
think
don't think
they
they
could-
can win. I don't know. I
Yeah.
think they're missing something for winning one of these events. Because Falcons have
It's like they hit
obviously
a
won
wall.
FIFA E and they've made a couple finals. Furia kind of keep topping out a top 4. Winning is different than that, so I just don't see it.
Yeah, that's fair.
Unless they want to
Yeah.
use our title in game, then absolutely, Sam fans. I think Furia can win, and you guys should all score goals with We Are Chalk title.
Sam, then. It's the team secret for me. We're probably going into Birmingham at least. We're kind of a team that we thought maybe could do some damage. We're kind of the jury was out on what's Sam looking pretty deadly in terms of depth in the region, but they looked really flat in Birmingham. Furia as well. As you said, they're always around the mark. They're looking pretty good, but I think Secret, Garrett, I know you have struggled in the past against Sam 2 seeds early on in tournaments.
Was Furia Sam 2 seeds?
They were once, yeah.
Secret,
Really?
I mean,
But that was
yeah,
like
Secret.
they
What
weren't
do you-
really a Sam 2. Furia were Sam 2 officially in the points, but they weren't really.
Oh,
Sam
really? In
2,
LA
if you know what I
Major, they
mean.
were Sam 2?
I think they were, yeah. That's
Oh,
why
wow.
you guys ended up with a group of death because they were Sam 2.
Oh, well, that was when they really took off too. Before that, they really hadn't done much. Like maybe we were the trampoline. No, but they I mean they were like good, but they hadn't even. I don't even think they had really made a top 8 yet before that, and then they went on to get a top 4 and then eliminate Moist. But yeah, I don't know. Sam's weird because it's like I always think the depth is looking better, but then Furia is just uncontested, and then every time that happens, it makes me feel like that they're reliant on Furia. Like I don't see Secret making a run if they can't really take down a single. Like at least I think with Twisted Minds, it's like they can test Falcons a bit more. Like there's I think Regional 1 was Game 7, like it was close. But I don't know. I think their peak is like 9 through 12 most likely, and that would be a big upgrade because they went to Game 5 with Foot, I think, at Birmingham. Let me see. Yeah, they did. They went to Game 5 with Foot, and then went to Game 5 with GarrettG and lost. And I don't think GarrettG necessarily looked good at the time. But I don't know. It's weird that you look at it. Swift, KV1, like they should be better than what they're.
They should be
showing.
better, yeah. They
should be a lot better.
Mhm.
So it's interesting.
Land nerves, perhaps.
But-
They're in a similar spot, I feel like, with MENA. I don't know if you guys, I mean, without obviously doing predictions, which can really, Bruno can throw things up and anything up. I've probably just got Furia and Falcons in Team Secret, Twisted out of the top 8 at this point.
Did we do a like really early top 8 prediction? I think we tried to do it, but it was really hard to do.
I think we did.
We're gonna do like a full bracket prediction on the Patreon tomorrow, and we're gonna record that, so that'll go out over the weekend, I think, or early next week, right before the major. Where we will just do a full bracket and see what happens. But yeah, there's like so many good teams in that kind of 8 to even 8 to 11 range that are very strong. It's all about matchups in that like 5th round of Swiss. We'll see what Bruno's cooking up.
What would you guys say is the peak potential for Twisted Minds? Just like highest placement, you could see them in Raleigh.
I'd say top 6.
Yeah, I agree. I think that's. I'm trying to think. Yeah, I think there's too many good teams where I can't see them like stumbling into a top 4 from a good matchup. I think top 6 is probably the best.
Because remember, if you just go 3-1 in Swiss, but a good 3-1, you get top 6 automatically because you're just in the upper bracket. So, I mean, they could 3-1 a Swiss stage, definitely. There's like 11 teams who I wouldn't be surprised would 3-1 in Swiss. Wouldn't be like absolutely shocked with the right matchups.
It's fair to say their level's lower though than it was the first major, right? Like they got upset by
quite a few teams, yeah.
I just saw it, yeah. Like I think, and didn't they win a regional the first split, or am I making that up?
Yep.
So it feels like maybe, and I know it's just one regional, but I think I don't think they're gonna be top 8 this time. I think all of NA are too strong. I think the 4th NA seed could beat them in the last round because that's who they ended up beating to make top 8 was GarrettG, pretty sure. I don't know. I think they're gonna get stuck there now.
Yeah.
But Nupo's capable of just like having 30 minutes where you just can't do anything now. So I mean, it is that But that's their win condition. That's my problem. It's their
Mm.
win condition to me is like Nupo always feeling it. And they're a good team, of course, but it's just kind of like if Nupo isn't going off, which he usually is, but like to an extreme level, I think they're still going to struggle with how good NA is now. I don't see him beating even 4th seed EU at the moment.
Yeah, they're
Well,
kind of like
based on like all
Yeah.
here's like all the round 5 matchups we could be getting based on like all the power rankings I've been seeing going around. Because
Yep.
like the main teams that everybody's putting at the top are KC in no particular order. KC, Falcons, NRG, Furia are up there still for a lot of people because of their strong top fours and they haven't lost in SAM. And then Dignitas seem to be that 5th team that people are like slotting in there. Some people are hanging on to Ultimates maybe, but if you just you know as viewers like bear with me like as that's our placeholder top 5 just for the context. These would be the round 5 matchups. You would have things like Vitality versus Gen G, Ultimates versus Gentlemates, and Twisted Minds against Space Station. That's 3 round 5 matches.
Not in front of the crowd,
Those
you're
are all so
saying?
good.
Shame.
No crowd. That is round 5 of Swiss, and that is
Oh.
because 5 teams make it 3 or 3-1. And I've just picked out 5 teams from the best. All the round 5 matches, if all these teams make it into round 5, will be insane. They're all teams who nobody would be surprised to see any of these teams in top 6. Nobody. But like they're all guaranteed to be in round 5 of Swiss. It's just so
Now,
insane.
bear in mind,
And if one of
Johnny,
those guys is not, it's someone else. It's like an NRG or a Falcons or a Dignitas.
bear in mind, Johnny, that while you're talking about those teams, T-Bates has a 52% chance of OCE making a top 8. Whilst you're saying that it's Vitality, Gentlemates, Ultimate, Space Station, Gen G, Furia, maybe.
It involves beating one of those teams who are in one of those theoretical round 5 matchups, and then just to get into round 5, and then beating another one to get out of round 5. So yeah, you'd have to beat 2 of those teams to make it into top 8 this time, which is crazy.
I'm looking forward to seeing T-Bates top 25 based on that, which will be coming up after this Chalked live. I think with Twisted Minds, though, you're right with Naupo. He kind of reminds me of like Space Station Daniel back like with the boys. You kind of needed a Dan pop off to kind of compete with the big boys. But I don't think they're coming in as hot as Birmingham. So I honestly think top 8 is the max. Like 7-8 is where they're finishing at their best, honestly, just what I've seen. But LAN does funny things. Secret, I can't see them making it past round 4 of Swiss, just based on what we've seen. You guys probably agree with that.
Agree.
Yeah, I agree. I think I'm taking wildcard over him.
Yeah,
in a head-to-head.
Yeah, probably would as well. And then I guess we talk Falcons. I think we all agree can win the event if they pop, but they haven't popped as much lately.
Mm-hmm.
Furia,
top 4.
Top 4.
It's
destined.
Top 4. It's destined. They're gonna look like they can win, and then they're just gonna hit a wall.
3-0 Swiss
every time.
Top 4. Lose. Top 6. That'd be, I guess.
I mean, it just it just depends on the bracket. Like, I think Furia could beat Ultimates, who made a final. Like, I mean, making grand final doesn't seem to be like too wild for any of the like top 8 or so teams. Like, if it happened, people would be like, "Cool, all right, hey, that's nice." But yeah, winning it is a different story because you have to beat KC. So that's the part where it becomes insanely hard.
Yeah. Well, every time they look like they're in a good position to break that, it's like, and I think it might have only happened a few times, but it feels like something so ridiculous happens every time because I think last land Yan just started like it's at the point where he's starting to laugh. Like he's like, bro, every time they get into like a clutch situation, it's like something completely dumb will happen. And then you see Yan just like, bro, again, it's every time. And he'll be playing great and everything, and it'll just be like the weirdest goal ever. So it's like at a certain point it starts to become mental where you're like, bro, every time this is gonna happen, like we go 3-0, 3-1, we're looking good, and then they just hit that wall every single time. But all it takes is one event, honestly, and then like after they got that first top 4, it looked like they were never gonna drop below it, and it's been 2 years. I guess they had a little NA slump when they moved to NA, but I don't know. I still think it's possible though. I still have faith in them. It's kind of like Falcons, where Falcons definitely had the skill, but it was 100% mental for a while. Like they'd make a final and It just did not look like the same team.
Yeah.
That's why I'm saying Firstkiller. I think if he gets that Falcons final, he has a major win before they beat the mental thing. This guy keeps running into Vatira in the final. He's running into the most like self-confident. I mean, what is his final win rate? It's I think he's lost like one, or has he even lost the final?
Yeah, he lost his first one in
His
LA
first one?
to
Okay, that's right. Is that the
even
only
that
one?
one though, they won one of the series and lost the other one, so it was
Yeah.
pretty good close
Yeah.
matchup. Like they've never had a really bad final.
He's
Just that
lost
one.
one. That's insane.
Like I mean, that's what I'm saying. That's why I think sometimes I say it's a little circumstantial with winning. Like, I think if Firstkiller gets another matchup, he's won a major. And I'm not even kidding. I think I'd be 100% confident in that.
Yeah.
But I also think Furia could make a run and still win.
I just think they.
K-Corp just make everything look unlikely.
So
right
you
now.
think if Ultimates like to make it like a real scenario, London last year, quarter final I think it was, Ultimates were against Falcons and they lost pretty badly. And then Falcons made the final, loss to G2. So you think if they're swapped, if G2 are against Falcons in the quarter and Ultimates are in the G2 brackets where they've got to play against BDS, and then I think it was like Vitality, and then they play against Falcons in the final, do you think Ultimates win that? You think they can win through?
I think they do just because every time Falcons got to a final at that point, they didn't look like near the same team.
Mm.
I mean, obviously they're playing good teams, but I just think that Firstkiller's teams keep peaking when Vatira's peaking. Like that was the last major final was also
So
that
unlucky.
team's peak, the Itachi Exotic peak. That was you know what's funny is the other best time was probably the Sweden major, but they ended up losing to us.
Ran
and we
into
got
you
waxed.
guys, yeah.
Yeah, we got
they
waxed.
did.
But we had like a I don't know what
We
it
got
was. Like they
waxed.
just played really bad against us very consistently. But
They
yeah.
did actually. They would keep running into you guys online as well and just losing. And
Yeah, even though they were
yeah,
like playing way better than us, it was weird. But
that's probably what they thought. But yeah, you guys were the number one team.
I feel like some teams, like, you know, can just they get to top 4, top 2, and they lean forward a little bit further. You know, like a KC. And I just think with Furia, just rounding out Sam, I feel like they're a really, really good team, but I just don't think they're a team that really elevates under pressure like we have seen with Carmine Corp, you know, with Vitality, with these top teams, with NRG as well. You know what I mean? Like I feel like they get to that point, and now it's like righto. Now the pressure's on. You know, now we're in a semi-final, quarterfinal, big matchup, and I feel like that's kind of where they've hit their limit. But they could turn it around. This could be the event for them. Perhaps the expectation isn't as high for this event. They've already locked in everything, so every team's locked in Worlds apart from Gentlemates. So we'll see. Speaking of Gentlemates, let's hop over to Europe. We'll save North America for last. You're the biggest Eugene fanboy I've ever met, Captain. Gentlemates, what are your thoughts?
I mean, I think they can make a top 8. I don't see them doing what they need to do to make Worlds and get a top 2. I don't really see that happening. I also didn't see Gentlemates winning a major last year.
Yeah, true.
But I think their peak. I think I could see them top 4, but that would be like a really solid, like really good performance for them. I thought they've looked good versus K-Corp when they do play them, but they also cannot be Vitality, which I think is a problem. But Vitality's looking good against everyone who's not Dig and K-Corp. So, but I can see them getting a top 4. I wouldn't bet on it. I think top 8. I think it's very likely all 4 EU teams get top 8. Extremely likely. And then I think with all this NA hype, it would just be the most NA thing ever if only like 2
Don't say
get
it.
top 8. I'm just saying, like, you know, there's a lot of unknowns with NA to me, just because it's Space Station's first event. They could either, like, I wouldn't be surprised if it is a little bit of a, okay, this is hard, like playing on land. Even though they are very confident players, because I could see them going the other way as well, where like Moist just showed up to LAN and got top 2. But I just don't. It's hard for me to doubt Seiko and Juicy's consistency once they get to LAN. Like they were known as like were they not like the Swiss goats at LANs? Even when you didn't expect them to be top 2, they would just 3-0 or 3-1 the Swiss.
I think they
And
could.
I think it's just kind of their play style.
I think they could be an upset team. To, you know, if you're looking outside the obvious guys that could win, I feel like it'd be the most Rocket League esports thing ever if we just have like a Gentlemates win the last major coming into Worlds, and everyone's like, okay, what on earth is happening? I honestly think they could do it, because they're probably the team in Europe, well, outside of Dig, Vitality cannot hold a candle right now to KC, but Gentlemates we've seen against Calming Corp, they can put in a series, they can take them the distance. So I think peak Gentlemates is a truly world-class team. Obviously, Eugene first LAN, but we talked about LAN debuts in the previous ep. I think, Garrett, it doesn't matter anymore about LAN nerves. I think it'll probably take Eugene one game to be comfortable.
I don't even know if I would call it, like, I don't think if Space Station, for example, don't have a great performance, I don't even think it's necessarily nerves. I think that they're not just going to slide into a Vitality series, though, and be prepared. I think EU still plays way different than NA, and I wouldn't be surprised if they just need a few reps to be, because NA is just chaotic right now. EU still seems to be, especially Gentlemates and Vitality, a very hard to beat playstyle on LAN. That's why I never doubt Monkey Moon in the Swiss the first day too, like the first day or two, because everyone's nervous. He's just front flipping the ball, top right, top left, like he's just
or like double
3-0ing
jumping,
the Swiss,
not even flipping.
while K Corp is like warming up to their peak level, like it feels like that happens every time. And that's kind of how I view Seiko and Juicy as well. They're just so very solid, and I think they just show up off the rip, and then maybe falter off once a K Corp or Falcons are hot. But yeah, I don't think they'll be nervous. I think you're right about that. But I think it's going to be it's just a high level event. Very, very. It's going to be very.
Do you
hard.
think that the last thing on Gentlemates is? Do you think that Worlds top 2 qualification will be on their mind as much as they'll tell themselves it's not, and it's just one game at a time, one match at a time?
Is
like,
it a bad thing though?
Them?
Like, is it
100%.
like you look at Gen G, who made the run? Obviously the crazy run last split, where they were the only team that they had to win the event, and they did it. Like, is it a bad thing having pressure on? Like, these guys, they've won. Seiko's a world champ. I don't know. I think it could help.
There is last chance qual, so yeah, there's another way, but obviously they'd love to just qualify, not need last chance qual, because then you just make it to France, the first France Worlds. It's really hard to know what that's going to do to them. It's really hard to say if that's going to help them or not, but it's cool that there's still someone fighting for Worlds. There's one scenario. Every other team's qualified except them, so I guess we'll see.
Yeah. The person watches Eugen, because I guess he's never been in a situation like that ever.
Mm-hmm.
It's people react one of the other way. They either step up or they get a little timid, which I think that means you're hesitating a little bit. But yeah, we'll see. I don't know if it was Vatira in that situation. I'm like, yeah, that guy's making it. He's just so I don't know. He's like a movie character. I get. He's just so delusional, but like in a good way. And he's got the talent to back it. No, he is. He's just so like. When I watch him, I feel like he's saying into himself, like, "This is my life. Like, this is everything for me." I don't know. I love it though. I'm not even. It's not in a bad way. The way he tweets, the first land he goes to, he tweets, "The goat has landed." And I remember when I was reading that, I was like, "Who is this guy?" And then he ended up being the best player in the world. So, yeah, if Eugene can pull some of that insane self-confidence, then I think he can do it. But it takes a special type of person to do that, to react that way, I think. I don't think that's common.
Well, I'm going to say for Gentlemates, rounding out with them, I think their peak, I think they can win it. But it's very small. Yeah, I think they could. Yeah, Gentlemates.
Yeah.
Johnny, can they win it?
I don't think so. No, I don't think so. I think it's going to be too much pressure. I think if they made the final, they've already won. I think 0%, because if they made the final, they've already won. And they're just going to be like, we did it. We qualified for Worlds. And then they're going to lose.
Jason Tatum.
Do you think Vitality's chance of winning is higher than Gentlemates? Or do you think it's similar? Just to compare.
Smidgen. And it's not on form. It's on the people. It's on the cattle. Zen, Monkey Moon on Team Exotic.
I think Vitality's chance of winning is higher, because Monkey Moon and Exotic turned it on last year at the end of the year. Not for the Major 2, but they did turn it on, and they look like a totally different team. And they do still have Zen, who might, end the year as best player in the world again. So I think their chance is better to win Vitality's.
Yeah, well, let's get into them real quick. What's going on with Vitality? They've got the 15-0 loss streak against KC. They've got the mental block, but they are world champions. I'm seeing like I don't know, until I see the form reversal, until the world champs come around, I think this is just going to be a nice top 6 for Vitality around there.
Yeah, they're another one of the top 6 teams, I think, for me. Just a nice top 6
That's their
eliminated
floor.
by KC.
Is it
think
their
that's their
floor?
floor.
That's the question. Is it
Yeah.
their floor, though?
But I think their floor
it's
is very
nice
close
top
to their
six.
ceiling. To me, like their floor is top 6 and their ceiling's top 4. I'm not even kidding. I think they're gonna wipe Swiss again, and then they're gonna struggle. I think I wouldn't be surprised if that happens again.
Okay.
But really, I mean, really, when they did make the top 6, they kind of did what Energy did. It was like if they could just shoot the ball like literally 5% better, I think they would have beat Ultimates. Like it was just they could not finish all the great pressure they were creating. Like they, in terms of like a play style and a team, they looked fine. They looked good, and they just couldn't finish it off. So I mean, yeah, I still think they're really good. I don't see them not making top 8, and I definitely see them not struggling in Swiss. So that's why I think their floor is top 6 for me. But
They're just they're a hard team to read because you just see them on paper and you know it's the same at EU Online. You're like, surely, like, is this the time they can do it? They should be able to do it, but yet to see them. They're kind of like the Furia on LAN is like Vitality in EU, where they just get to that point and then they get wiped.
that's true.
Yeah, we'll see with them. Dignitas obviously really impressive, taking down KC. Not in the final event. KC got their revenge, but confidence levels for Dignitas. What are we thinking, Johnny, coming in? What can they do?
I think they could do a lot. I like Dignitas. I think that they can. I think that they're one of the teams I said earlier. They're a contender because they have beaten KC's once. So maybe they could do it again. It's kind of the obvious logic there, but I don't think they're gonna do it. Obviously, I think KC are going to win. But I would back Dig to be one of the teams with a better chance against them on a Champ Sunday. One of the only teams I think have a chance. Yeah, top 4 is like where they should be happy. I think Dignitas, but winning is their small percentage peak.
Mm-hmm.
I think they should be happy with no less than top 4, and I think top 6 is like the floor that I would expect them to be at based on their level online.
Expected floor, captain, but what is their actual floor? Because I can see them getting round 5 as well, but I think they can win the event.
Yeah, I think they have a big wide spread potential of result. I think top 8 is a floor because they definitely have leveled up, but I mean they had top 8 locked last major and they just went up 2-0 and then it looked like they just started throwing it away. A little bit of a mental lapse there. Because they had GK beat, I feel like. And even in the game 5, if I remember right, it's so hard to remember the last majors right now, but it's like they were beating them. It felt like they were beating them the whole game and still couldn't manage to get it. But yeah, I could see a very small percentage chance of them winning, and I would not be surprised to see them go out round 5, like if they get taken off guard by like a space station or something.
Yeah, it's like Gentlemates Dig or something like that.
But yeah, you would want to see them level up because they do look like a better team than Split 1. I mean, of course, beating K Corp and winning a regional is huge. So, man, there's so many good teams. This is like it's almost hard to keep track of now because there's so many good teams. Like usually in my head, I'll be like, these 4 might win.
They're top 8. It's like, well, it's not possible.
And now we're talking about Gentlemates have a small chance. Well, I guess Johnny doesn't. But like Gentlemates, I'm saying Fury could win. I'm saying Falcons could win. I'm saying so many people could win.
It's insanely stacked. This is the most stacked I think line ever, but we keep saying that every line because the level keeps rising across the RLCS world.
Makes sense. 10 years in. Let's move on to KC. Do we need to say anything about them? I think that they probably have a.
They're more likely to win this one than the last one. This is even. I think they're more in a better spot to win this one than the previous one.
KC versus the field. What's the percentages for them versus the other 15 teams at winning?
It's gotta be at least 50, right?
Is it 50?
I mean, it's just hard for me to see them.
I think it's in 30s. 30s.
You think so? They just weren't even tested. It felt like they weren't even tested at all. The watching,
yeah,
like I was almost
scary.
bored. But maybe if they start to get tested, then it'll be. I don't know. You know, you never know. But I mean, I was thinking Johnny was going to say more than 50. I thought I was being a little conservative. I'm not even kidding.
I feel like when you think, yeah, it sounds good to say 50, but like T-Bates, it's that means they're basically, I mean, they probably are more likely than not to win if you look at it that way, which would be more than 50. But I think we talked about
Ridiculous
it in the previous ep as well. If they'd lost the final qualifier, if that was the one that Dig won, then I think there'd be less, there'd be a bit more up in the air. But the fact that they lost the qual and then just, as I said, they just leaned forward a little bit further. They locked in again and then they sweep Dig, the team that beat them. They 4-0 them in the final. Johnny, that's scary, and that's why I'm more confident in that.
Yeah, they took it really well. It's all the things they're saying also. I think they're just saying all the right things. And they sound like they're ready to run it back. They're, given the right amount of respect to all their opponents, but they sound super confident in themselves. They're learning from their mistakes. They continue to improve. They look every bit as driven. It's everything points to another KC win here. And I don't think that's a problem. A lot of people complain about, there's a dominant team in Rocket League and this is bad for the esport. I don't think so. I think it's actually good for the esport. A lot of the best things that have ever happened in esports have come because of dominant teams eventually losing. So this is potentially another one of those dominant teams. They're racking up one of the most dominant seasons ever. If they win this, they're on track potentially. Would that already be the most dominant season? I guess they would just need like a top 2 at Worlds, and it is. But yeah, they're looking pretty strong.
I think with the context of Worlds being in France, if they win this LAN, I think the pressure's even. I think I would argue winning this major. Yeah, I would argue.
I think we take the hit
more
for this event. I think we take the hit in Raleigh. Just let them win.
And let them win.
So Worlds is like we get the payoff.
It'll put even more pressure on them to win.
Yeah,
but I think because they're like, oh, this is ours. Like we've shown up to both lands and won. We have to win the Worlds in France. Whereas like if they get tested, it's just like, all right, we gotta lock back. I don't know. It's just thinking if I was them, I would be more nervous going to Worlds if I just won both majors. And like this is your best chance. Everything's just setting up for like fairy tale moment in France. Like I don't know. I kind of hope they win now just to see that. Yeah, I think it'll be hard. I think
it'll be special. It would be special.
Yeah,
so hard to do these days and look at them go.
Yeah.
All right, so we got North America left.
Yeah, let's do it. Finish off with NA, our region. Let's go reverse order here. I want to finish with Space Station. Let's start with the big dogs. NRG. Second favorites?
I'd say like second. For me, it's like second equal because they're all in a group, I feel. I've just got like Dignitas, Falcons, and NRG in a group. They're all like, they're so close together, and KC are in a different level. So I think this is more like a tier list LAN for me than a rankings. The rankings are great for impressions though, but it's a tier. They're A tier for me. Maybe B. Maybe A tier is empty, and there's just no one in A. KC and S. But yeah, I'd say they're A.
Yeah, I would agree.
Top 4 is like the minimum, like the result they should be happy with. Same as Dig. Like they can win. They should be happy with nothing less than top 4. Top 6 is their absolute floor with a nightmare matchup. Like, just running into KC who are trolling and down there early. But yeah, obviously they're one of the favorites.
Yeah,
I would agree.
I think they're second highest floor in the world, whether they're the second favorites or not. I think they're behind KC. I think their floor is even higher than Falcons in terms of placement, I'd say.
For sure their floor is higher. Yeah, they're
so consistent.
Yeah, their floor is definitely very high. Even when they're playing badly, like when they weren't playing very well in Birmingham, their floor is still like really high. So that's going to help them a lot, make a guaranteed top 6 and probably top 4.
Do they win though?
I would agree. I hope they don't. I want them to win Worlds.
Oh, hang on.
I think,
hang on. You can't say that. You're NRG, GarrettG.
No, but I'll stick to it. I want a nice, crispy second place, and I want them to go to France. I want K Corp to win. I want Energy to get second, and I want a rematch at Worlds Finals, and they become the biggest villains in the country of France ever. They have to be escorted out of the arena.
So
they
funny.
Get deported from France instantly. That's what you're hoping.
Yeah, no, but I think unless Ultimates run into them in the playoffs, I think they'll make the final. I mean, at least the odds are very high, for sure.
Okay.
Yeah, some really fun matchups potentially though for NRG. I think it would be fun to see them play Dig. the new look Dignitas would be a fun match.
Yeah,
And yeah, Ultimates is always a good match if they do play them. I know Garrett doesn't want them to play them, but it's always a good match. They always play good match against Falcons. KC, they played a good match against KC, even though they lost. So yeah, Vitality. Yeah, lots of really fun matchups. And as long as they have, basically, I just don't want them to play NA again. Not another NA regional or NRG throughout the entire event.
Yeah,
I agree.
I think
I'm
they're
tired
at
of-
1 to
I'll see that match
14.
again.
But what about, okay, these are the real discussions, though. 'Cause we're all agreed on NRG, but Space Station, big challenge for the youngsters here. And, you know,
Big.
whereas KC have been kind of just like quietly dominating, not really saying anything too crazy. Farah says they get lucky on kickoffs and all that stuff. And then you've got Xpar, the coach of SSG, saying that he thinks NA is better top 4, that NA right now is looking stronger online. Did specify online, of course, the irrefutable comparison. And then, you know, all these extra pressures of having the first LAN, their NA defending regional champions. Can they handle the pressure?
Yeah, I think they will. But these guys can absolutely circumnavigate Raleigh. Like, this is a 1 to 16 team right here.
It
We
is.
could see the biggest collapse in the history of a LAN from these guys, but also I'm confident it won't happen, but it could happen.
It doesn't sound like you're confident then.
It could happen with the kids coming up.
Confident
Look,
that anything
Vatira's
could happen.
confident. Vatira's confident in Space Station. Thinks they're, you know, a real candidate with NRG. I'm expecting. I think they're a round 5 team. I think they're getting knocked out in round 5.
Space Station, you think so?
Yeah.
So where does that? I'll go back to Space Station, but where does that put Gen G then? If Space Station is getting knocked out round 5,
That's a good question. I want to say they're also
Same round?
getting knocked out in round 5.
Okay, I think that's fair. Yeah, I think I just really want to see them versus a team like Vitality. Because when they play Energy and Ultimates right now, who I would argue are more similar to Vitality in a way, where they're, I don't explain, like in my head when I look at Space Station, they're one of the most chaotic, and it's mostly because of Kofor, one of the most chaotic, aggressive teams. And every time they play a team that is really good at controlling the ball right now, at least online, they just demo the crap out of them, and it looks like that team can't. So I want to see Vitality against them, but also this first round against Ultimates will be very telling. But yeah, I think what I see being more likely is that they do go out 2-3 and then progress at Worlds after that initial experience. So
yeah.
But I could see a top 8 exit as well. Like, I could see them getting over the hump. And
Chrome's in chat saying Monkeyman is free real estate for demos.
oh my god, Chrome came out of the woodwork to say that. That's funny.
I know, this came out with the woodwork to annoy Monkeyman. Careful, it's getting the end of the season, Chrome. You don't want to annoy Monkeyman right about now. This is where he like levels up.
I will say though,
That's funny.
there's something about this team that's screaming Liquid at me. The top 4 Liquid run where they, in London, they didn't make Worlds because they left the run late, but everyone was saying, oh my, like this is the new team on the block. How good's this for the esport? I can see that as well. I'm seeing like a Space Station top 4 where everyone's just like all eyeballs are on them for the next couple of events. But I think they're going round 5.
And then they don't win. And then they don't win until one of them gets poached to the best team in the region or something. I could see that being likely next season or something.
Yeah, could be a Liquid 2.0. Yeah, I'm saying round 5. I think their peak is. Oh, they could win the event, but I think their realistic peak is top 4. 4 to round 5.
Top 4. That's like a fair. Yeah, I think that's very fair. Yeah, good range. They're definitely similar to what I'm thinking. Yeah, I'm not ignoring you guys in chat. I just want to hear what Garrett and CJ are going to say. But yeah, everybody's saying that the expert comment is actually like not that much of a hot take because
I think it is.
Vatira and I think Farah also said something similar. But yeah, I mean, to me, it's funny when I hear that used as evidence of an unbiased opinion. Is like a European talking about Europe or like an American talking about America. Wow, this person's from there and they said that their region's bad, so it must be true. But I don't think a lot of people realize how much of a rivalry there is between KC and like Vitality, KC and Gentlemates. Like when KC are talking bad about the other top teams in Europe, it's because that's their biggest rivals. They don't like they're not going to go and say, yeah, Europe's the best. All of the teams we're biggest rivals with are super good. Now they take every opportunity that they can to trash each other, and they're very very good at it. They make it subtle enough that people are like, whoa, so honest. Can't believe he'd, talk bad about his own region as they just, smirk to each other off camera, like, oh, we're trashing Vitality again. But yeah, it's insane. It's gonna you're gonna see it in France. Like they're not gonna be friendly to each other. These these fan bases, they're pretty serious rivalries.
It's gonna be like it's gonna be like a cauldron. Like we talk of what is it? Katowice, like the cathedral of Counter Strike. I think we're gonna see the cathedral of Rocket League. Over there. But we've got 2 teams left. We need to go quick because we do have the top 25 ranking stream. I'm going to save GarrettGG for last, my ex. We're going to go over to Ultimates. Top 2, last time we saw them on LAN, I cannot realistically see them getting top 2 again, even though I just saw it. Surely not. But then it's FK. It is FK. But I don't think they're doing it. Yeah. I'm saying top 6 for Ultimates. I'd be very surprised if they got top 4. They're a 6 to round 5 team. They're right in that pocket.
Yeah. Man, if they didn't get second to that major, it's just like I'm thinking about left. It's so hard for me to, because I always rank past results so high. Yeah, and then even this online split was so weird because one of the splits or second regional LG's power just goes out.
Yeah, that was rough. That was very rough.
Beat Complexity, run into GarrettG. Yeah, I think they're going out. I think they're going out top 8. Top 6 peak.
Okay. That's like it's just a lot of teams. A lot of teams are like in the 6 to 11 range, and that's really hard to know who's going to get out of it, who's going to get stuck there. But the 6 to 11 is so close. It's never been closer in the history of Rocket League, so that's why. It sounds like we're doing a lot of fence sitting here, but there are just a lot of teams in that 6 to 11 range, and they're all very similar.
Wait, so where'd you have them? You had them in the same spot?
6 to round 5 for me.
Yeah, 6 to 11. Yeah, okay. 6 to 11 for me is just the teams we talked about earlier. Is like your SSG, GenG, Ultimates, Twisted Minds, like Mates, Vitality. That's your round. All my round 5 is Swiss teams essentially. That's my 6 to 11 squads.
Well, you know why it's hard too is because like if they just won this last regional, it would just be a different. I think them getting that second again is hurt. It's almost hurt their stock because that should have been a win. I think for them again.
They also got destroyed, which didn't help because it didn't even look like they were competitive for a lot of it. They just got rolled. Yeah. So yeah, they're not winning the matchups. Like how it's very clear in Europe. There's a clear hierarchy with like KC are beating everybody, Dig are beating everybody below them, and then Vitality are beating everybody below them. Mates are beating the rest. Whereas in NA it's a bit more random because you got like. Ooh, GenG picked up a good win over Ultimates, then they lose to the boys, and then SSG lose to GenG, then they beat GenG, and now they're getting destroyed by NRG, but they beat Ultimates really hard. Ultimates beat NRG, but they're getting destroyed by SSG. It's like everybody's more
matchup-based.
Yeah, it's very hard to make a clinical ranking. It's very like who would you even rank highest out of Ultimates, SSG, and GenG? You're gonna get a different answer depending who you ask, because GenG lost the chance of making that grand final. Because Magic Bear barely missed an open net, and it wasn't even his fault. It was like a random situation. Looked bad on stream, but he didn't even know the net was open when he jumped. So it's very, very close. But even NA 2, 3, 4 are close.
The hard part for me is I'm putting them both over. I think they're both being Ultimates because of the playstyle. Because that playstyle is working so well. Like they can't dodge a bump. But then they go in Energy and smack them. One Energy's smacking the other two. It doesn't make sense.
Yeah,
it's so weird.
It seemed like the biggest challenge for NRG, even though they can't beat SSG and GenG as consistently. Super interesting. But yeah, that makes the NA regional matchups more interesting. The fact that there's a bit of or lack of clarity. But yeah, Justin back on LAN. Can't wait to see it. I think that they should all be very happy with the top 8, these teams, by the way. Like right now, Ultimates, even in their current form, like if they could just get like a steady result, they should be happy. Just don't bum out. They should be like, okay, this is fine.
Just be in the mix. You want to stay in the mix, and that's a team like GenG who wants to get in the mix. This is one of the stories of the year. Justin, last time we saw him on LAN, I was playing against him, and he retired me. And here he is again, back on land. The captain's back on land as well. Garrett, where are you seeing the boys? Gen G Mobile 1 Racing.
Yeah, it's hard because I think Johnny says before, but I think Cheese and Major have had a rough go at things at every land so far. I think their absolute ceiling is top 6. And I think they should be really happy with the top 8 with how hard the Swiss is going to be. So I'm going to say, I mean, if I were betting, like, what is most likely to happen? I think they're going to go out round 5. But I can realistically see them going to top 8 and losing that first match, which I hope happens. I just want to see Justin in front of the crowd. It's so sad that these round 5s are not in front of a crowd. It actually makes me sad with the context of Justin going back and stuff.
These round 5s are crazy.
But yeah, that's what I think. I think round 5 or top 8. I think they're honestly evenly likely. Even however you say that. Most likely, they're the same percentage for me. Top 8 exit or round 5 exit.
Yeah, 50,
I would not be surprised to see either.
Yeah.
I'm there as well. I'm right there.
Yeah.
It's heartbreak or ecstasy, depending on where, it's like, yes, we're going to see in front of the crowd, or he loses
It's like LA.
Game.
That was LA.
Yeah. This is
it's gonna be insane. It's gonna be stacked. It's gonna be crazy. That's next week. That's gonna be our like rough preview. Oh well, or just general preview. But we will do specific predictions for the Patreon. We'll record that tomorrow. We'll upload it over the weekend or early next week. That'll fix the problem we keep running into tonight, which is it's all matchup dependent. Well, we're gonna find out in our predictions what the matchups could be or what they're looking like, because you don't realize how stacked it is till you see it like that. So. That'll be on the Patreon. Coming soon. Yeah. This will be our last live before the major because CJ leaves after the weekend. I'm gone for the weekend. And then you guys are going to be off at the major. I'll be in England with the UK boys watching. It's going to be a good time.
Gonna be make sure you tune in to the boys, the EU boys, doing the viewing party. That'll be I'll certainly be tuning in when I'm not on camera for sure. I think they're gonna be cooking up some fun stuff over there. So I think you guys got a multi-stream. It's gonna be live on every channel or just yours?
Yeah, live on every channel.
Yep. All right, so you'll be able to find it wherever you look on your favorite EU caster's stream. I'll be tuning into Shoguns because he's my favorite EU caster. Definitely not Cole. Subpar. Make sure you tune into the boys. We're not going to do any Patreon questions though because we need to wrap this. We've got top 25 ranking stream coming up straight after this. We might just throw JohnnyBoi stream offline so we can set that thing up and then we can all raid him on the other couple of channels. But hopefully you guys did enjoy our full Raleigh preview. As Johnny said, if you guys want to check out our full predictions, we're going to run an episode on patreon.com/chalkcast. Shout out to the patrons. And if you guys want to support the land that we are running, Shopify HQ in Toronto, really appreciate the support already, but you can jump over to jamesbot.net/shop, and that link will also be in the description. I think !mark land in chat. I pull that thing up as well. So, there you go. Make sure you jump over there. And that is it for today's episode. We're cooking with content, and Captain, we're going to be playing some ranked and scoring some goals with We Are Chalked because we need to reverse sweep these boys.
Yep. Use the title, fellas. We are getting
We're only down 670,000 goals. We're only down like 5%. So, yeah. Yep. Let's just stick to the percentage. The percentage sounds better. We're down 5%.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, we just need to get 5 more %. You guys need to score some more goals.
Sounds very, very doable for us, but we'll be in the ranking stream. For those who are watching the VOD, we'll see you at the major. We'll see Johnny on in the viewing party, and you'll see myself and the captain 2v3ing these absolute noobs live in Raleigh. Thank you guys for your support, and see you all later. Peace.
Bye, guys.